Nuovarden is a dimension of wide-open mystery and infinite discovery, created by our very own DungeonMisterTy and published by Adventure Slang Productions. You can learn all about this dynamic game system and wondrous setting at adventureslang.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Superior Adventures Guild. My name's Dave, your humble host for this Wednesday night special Nuovarden short campaign that we've been running. Hard to believe that we're already about halfway through this campaign. I've been having a blast exploring this wondrous world with this fantastic group. We're here to play and have fun and explore, and we're gonna tell you more about who we're playing, all that good stuff. But I want to kick it over to Ty to give us a little bit of insight on what's happening, and we'll do some introductions and then a couple of announcements, and then we'll go.
All right, thank you very much, and welcome everyone back to the Nuovarden campaign Crossroads, where we are learning about the game and exploring the world of Nuovarden through our characters and the experiences that they're having. Don't forget right off the top that if you would like a chance to win a digital copy of the complete core rulebook, which comes out next year, with your help, with any luck, we will get that to you, to the winner of our drawing tonight. So if you can hit the drawing.
Yep.
Also, if you will jump over to our adventureslang.com website and follow us. Once you are confirmed as a follower on our mailing list, we will, when we release all of our content, give you digital assets for your VTT that go along with our Nuovarden game. 8 culture tokens for all the core cultures in the game, which are the player character groups, and a 15 image asset pack as well, featuring weapons and armor and things like that for your tabletop experience as well. And that's just for following us and keeping informed on what we got going on. So as Dave said, we are 4 sessions in. And I think we mentioned at the end of last episode that the group has evolved again. So we're going to find out what that means. That is our level up. So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But I think what we'll do, this time, players, is I will call on you if you will tell us who you are, tell us who you're playing, and tell us what new discipline you picked up in your new evolution, because everyone has gained a second discipline. Lamar, would you please kick us off?
Hello everybody, my name is Lamar the Con Guy. This is Elamir the Decon Guy. This is my 10th game this week, so I apologize if I'm a little tired. Anyway, I am playing Tosh, our adorable little voidsmith. He started off with mystery, and he is now playing silence.
Mm-hmm. Silence, which is shadow work, stealth stuff, visual and audio, and plus. So we'll see how that happens. Yeah. Ashley.
Hey, everybody. I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter. And I am playing for you Ode, the Lenai, who kind of looks like a geode that's been pulled apart. And they do magic and stuff. And for my new discipline, I have chosen the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to do stuff like confusion, fear, flight, illusion, mental attack, mind reading, stun, telekinesis, and telepathy.
Nice. Yeah, interesting combination for Ode, who is no doubt not going to get into trouble with any of that.
Yeah, right.
Always more powerful. What will happen?
We are excited to welcome back Utahime. Tell us where you been, what you're up to, and who you're playing.
Hi everyone, it's so good to be back. I'm Utahime, and I'm playing Ela. I can't even say my own name. Ela Nelnik, who is 5th generation removed from the Great Huntress of the Landplak people, and she is trying to retrace her great grandmother's steps, and she actually was away to try to train because her great grandmother, who she looked up to so much, from all of the different tales of her feats, she wanted to learn archery and to be able to properly use a bow. So she's been away training while the others have been seeming to have gotten up to some shenanigans. So she's hopefully going to regroup with this squad and maybe get into some shenanigans herself. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
And Dave.
Hey, everybody. You all know me. I'm Dave, Dungeon Dave, DM Dave. Play games, run games, and produce games here on Guild Superior with my friends, like these beautiful people right here. Tonight, I am playing First Foundation. This one is a Wotan, a strange culture that is really a single mind for a singular purpose, and that is the construction of the tower. Last episode, this one had a very weird conversation with these, and it was extremely interesting to role play that out. Wotan are weird. But yes, I have been working with the discipline of technology, and I have added to that now with my third evolution lore, which allows me to delve into long forgotten pieces of information to maybe identify certain items, and also to extract, I think, information possibly, or depending on how things go, maybe implant information. We'll see how that goes. I might try some weird stuff with lore. Yeah, really happy to be here. Ty, thank you so much for, first of all, creating Nuovarden. This came out of your brain, which is amazing. And thanks for bringing it here, and thanks to Udahime and Ashley and Lamar for jumping in and playing with us. This is super fun. It's been awesome to get to know you all. I can't believe we're already like at the halfway point of this 8-shot. But yeah, really quick, if folks want to get involved with the guild, I encourage you to get in on our Discord server. We have a great group over at our Discord. I'll put the link in the chat. A lot of fun people. That's a lot of the times where we find people to play in our games. So a lot of the people that hang out with us in Discord end up playing in some of our games. You can connect with us on Twitter to stay up on all of the news and whatnots. We're still over there despite the dumpster fire. And what else can I tell you? We have a little bit of an abbreviated schedule over the holiday season here over the next 2 weeks, but we do have our Heroes of Greyhawk next Tuesday, and we have our Nuovarden on Wednesday. So we'll still be bringing some fun games and playing games over the holiday season. So I think that's it. Just a reminder, if you want to get in on the giveaway, !drawing is how you do it. Ashley will show you how it's done. It's really easy. Just type !drawing in the chat, and you will be entered to win. We'll draw a winner at the end of tonight's session. And don't forget to get on the email newsletter as well to get some free goodies for your online Nuovarden gameplay. Back to you, Ty.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. One more point for the chat room. If you donate bits, you can affect the game. We have a level where you can give players 1 primacy point back. Primacy is a resource that each character uses when manipulating their manifestation efforts. When they don't quite succeed on a roll, they can change the outcome of that roll and have an opportunity to make it more beneficial. However, if they spend up all their primacy, they can't do that anymore, and it can leave them at disadvantage. So you can do that. You can also go all in and drop a boatload of bits, and whenever a manifestation is attempted, is successful, you can cause a manifesting event, which is a 50-50, good or bad, random outcome. And newsflash, I just doubled the size of the table this week.
Oh, there's new events on there?
The new events, yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. One quick clarification, the channel points or the primacy refills and manifest events are used with channel points. So for folks that have been hanging out with us for a long time, jump over the channel points and help us cause chaos. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Hello, Vancouver by night. Welcome in.
Welcome. Yeah. In fact, we had a manifesting event toward the end of our session last week where, as Ode was having conversation and meeting new Lenai friends, they were all showing off what their specialties were and what they could do. And Ode decided to throw a little whirlwind at one of the other Lenai and catch them up and just have a little fun in the washing machine. At the same time, one of our chat fellows, Bleak Season, bought a manifesting event, and the outcome was that Ode's Twister is permanent for a week instead of a turn and a half. So
We rescued the other Lenai.
Yeah.
after about 30 seconds of it,
Oh. Oh. I love your role play of that, Ty, with the Lenai
Swinging
stuck in the whirlwind. That was so good. But we may have also harnessed some energy, possibly with some plans for a wind turbine. We'll see.
Yep. Now's the time to test it. And with that, let's recap what happened last session. The party was previously arrested for trespassing and more so for asking the wrong questions in town regarding the well-being of the governor. Rumors had it that the governor had fallen ill, that the governor had made a miraculous recovery, or perhaps that the governor had died. And in addition to the fact that the Goodwill Reclaimers, a faction of folks who go out and find artifacts and then try to return them to the proper people, delivered a mysterious stone, a sort of gemstone or ore stone, that in the process of bringing it through town caught Ode's attention and immediately restored memories of a lost item from a previous life. Ode then, realizing that that stone or that item was in their proximity, approached the town guard and filed a complaint with the city to get audience with the governor to reclaim their stolen property. In the process of waiting for that to be fulfilled, the group decided to go back and see if they could surveil the compound of the governor's residence. Ended up trespassing up a staircase. Ode attempted to wall it off to mask their ascent. However, it did draw the attention of the guards, who called them back down as they were peeking over the palisade wall onto the yard of the governor's mansion, and questioned them, at which point First Foundation asked, "Is the governor dead?" And at that point, the guard had had enough and brought them in. At the beginning of last session, the group got audience with the governor, met the governor, and observed some of the other council folks in the governor's residence. They were, after pleading their case, offered to deliver a message on behalf of the governor in exchange for dropping the charges and restoring Ode's stone to them. They were assigned to Gudla Nalnik, who is the leader of the Goodwill Reclaimers, as a guide. And Gudla, they all found out, is Ila's cousin. In the process then of delivering the message, the group traveled northward for the better part of a day. They were attacked by Andals, which are a carnivorous, flightless, large, mammalian-type bird. That battle ensued, and the group was eventually successful, somewhat worse for wear. Proceeded on and arrived at the compound where Stone Shaper greeted them, the target of their message of delivery. Stone Shaper is a Wotanla, which is a subculture of Wotan. They are the ones capable of creating super powerful items. That is their specialty and is primarily what they do. This Wotanla then took First Foundation aside after the group had settled into the compound and delivered the message, and shared a vision that Stone Shaper had of fulfilling one leg of the Wotan prophecy of the destruction of the first tower. This in turn invoked a memory in First Foundation of what their current purpose was, and that was to locate Stone Shaper and to get information on this individual. The two had an endearing and charismatic exchange, at which point Stone Shaper gifted First Foundation with a tool for increasing the abilities of some of the things that First Foundation could do, and returned them to camp, where Ode had been having a conversation with the other Lenai regarding the big smash and the great kerfuffle and the things that they had been recruited to do to help the Wotan in their venture. And that is where we pick up. So group, as you gather just prior to the darkening, and you reconvene together, Gudla, Tosh, First Foundation, Ode, and Ode, your friends, Penrall, Weeplop, and Nofnogo. Is there anything you wanted to discuss amongst yourselves prior to rest?
First Foundation would probably fill them in a little bit on the conversation, maybe not going into deep detail, but letting them know that there's important work being done here and that there's more to learn, perhaps, from these Wotan, and just share a little bit of the knowledge, but nothing deep into the prophecy aspect of it.
Meanwhile, Ode, your little tornado's just sitting there in one place. You can move it. You can move it about 16 feet, about half of your movement at a time. But otherwise, it's just sitting there. And First Foundation, you had exchanged your armor for a parchment that you could record and start drafting a plan onto. Now, at your current evolution, you are now capable of permanently manifesting two permanent items. So you start restoring your armor because you made that exchange.
Yep, I would work on my armor.
Okay, perfect. And then at some point, if you wanted to transfer that plan to actual parchment, you could do that, and then you wouldn't have to hold that other one in permanence.
Okay.
All right. So you all complete your day, and the darkening falls. And let's see here. You get your rest. So when the darkening falls, it's almost immediate. There's no gradual decline in the light. It just goes like a light bulb that just drops and it falls to twilight. You finish your rest in camp and awake slightly just before the new day, the new dawn, if you will. Start to pull your things together, and Gudla is already awake, and she says, well, it's probably time for us to get moving soon if we want to get back and give your report to the governor. So I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to do here before we pack up and we can head out pretty early, I think, if you're going to be ready to do that?
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting a tour of what they're working on. You know, like, it was a little hard to tell what Pinra and Weelop and Nofnogo was trying to tell me they were working on, because it mostly, you know, it sounded like super fun, but I have no clue what they said.
First Foundation, I don't know if Stone Shaper, do you know anything about, any ideas about that?
What these ones work upon is the fulfillment of the prophecy of the tower, and he'll start to go into like this droning on of like talk of the tower, and like how it's a little bit into the lore behind the building and the destruction, and all of these like esoteric details that he now thinks that you're super. Oh, we're losing you, Ode.
Oh, what? Yeah, no, keep going.
This one could speak with, what was the guy's name? Level
Set.
Level Set. This one could speak with Level Set if it was of interest to explore the work. It does seem,
you know,
like,
they described it as a big mess and a great glump and a big smash.
Oh.
I mean, also sounds like an amazing party, but I don't know what that would be like for like work.
but could be interesting to see what these words mean to you.
Well, as the light restores, And Goodla and Tasha, if you wanted to help or if you have something else you wanted to do, but Goodla starts loading the wagon up, getting what gear you did have put back into the wagon and getting it turned around and hitched back up to Jerry.
Jerry.
First Foundation, are you looking for level set?
Yeah, I'll look around for level set, and if I'm able to find him, inquire if he would be willing to give us a quick tour as things are being prepared for departure.
Okay. Well, no surprise to anyone, level set's not too far away. And as you begin looking for them, they make themselves known and head off to you and says,
Good morning.
And to remind everyone, level set wears black fabrics and has really beefy armor of stone and metal plates that enhance the underhide of that. Level set has 4 arms, 3 legs, and carries both a bow and sword and shield when, at least that was how you first met them. But level set says First Foundation.
Good morning. This one and these, Ode, have an interest, if you have a moment to provide a bit of a tour of your work.
Of the compound.
Indeed.
If they wish.
They do.
This one, First Foundation, shall collect these, bring them to this one, and this one will tour these.
This one thanks you.
What'd they say? Are we going?
That's a positive response.
Okay.
So level set waits for you to join, and then just begins leading you through the compound. The footprint of this compound is not massive, but it is probably 100 yards in diameter. 50 yards in diameter. So as you move through, you see the same thing that you saw before. The Wotan are coming back to activity. They are moving a lot of things around, stacking crates or relocating crates to add modular walls to sections, or the forge gets fired back up and things like that. But it looks, as level set shows, like this is the forge area. This is the stacking area. Here, they shape stone, not necessarily in honor of Stone Shaper, but for a task, to fit it more easily into the wagons. And it's just a tour basically of like a day in camp. And you get the impression pretty quickly on that there's no construction going on here of anything new. It's more keeping the camp functional and on point until such time as they need to pack it up and move it somewhere else.
Do we see any of the Lenai friends working about?
The only Lenai you have seen so far were the 3 that Ode met. And it looks like they've decided to trail from a little distance as you're all wandering around as a little pack and see what all you're doing.
Union
So
break.
It's in their contract.
Yeah, they get to follow any tourists around.
Well, to be fair, you did create a permanent tornado in their job site that may be against regulations.
I don't think that was their job site. I think that was their break room.
So anyway, the 3 of them actually see you 2 talking, and they creep forward. They come up a few steps and then they stop, and they come up a few steps and they stop. And to remind everyone what the Lenai are, there's one that is primarily red, one that is primarily gray, and one that's primarily blue. And then they all otherwise look like similar versions of Ode, who is also primarily gray. And when you wave, they get more bold and they like in a line, 3 kids in a row, boop, 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 come marching up. And Level Set's like quiet. And Penroll's the red one. Penroll says, so are you going to stay here and help us? Are you going to join us? Like you can come in our camp. You can live in our camp and help us find some more.
Some more or some ore?
Oh, well, I meant some more. So more, but some ore if it's the right kind of ore.
Oh, okay. But no, sorry. I'm on a mission right now. It's very, very important.
Wow.
You know, by the leader of wherever that place was that we came from. And they're gonna give me a really huge reward when we get back.
What is it? What is it? And they're all like, what? Yeah, what are they going to give you? Is it a secret? They're going to give you a secret?
Well,
And
no, the reward is a secret. I'll tell you. I mean, if I come back, I'll tell you about it. But yeah, just shh.
The blue one, Weeplop, says, "Are you coming back?" And Nofno goes like, "Are you coming back?"
One can never tell.
Weeplop looks a little bit disconcerted about that, but the others are like, "Okay. Well, if you come back and forgot the name already." Penroll says, bring some more of us. Bring some more Lenai, because we have.
Yeah, we'll have like a party for sure.
Okay, we'll be waiting here, but if we find some more, we'll bring them in here too.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, bye.
Okay. Keep
Okay.
on keeping on, guys.
All right, you too. All right, enjoy your secret.
I will.
Okay. And then they just move off a few feet, and then they stand there and stare. And so Level Set says, anyway, and continues leading you on through the thing. As Level Set's leading you, Stone Shaper and the entourage comes forward and says, well, are you back to see the governor and to deliver the report, First Foundation?
This one and these intend to take our leave, returning to Akshalo and the governor.
Oh yeah, that was the name, actually.
Does this one have a message to bring to that one, the governor?
Yes. Actually, please inform the governor that we should be there on the morrow.
Ah. We have toured the compound.
Yeah.
Level Set, this one, providing much hospitality to ours.
Level Set is a fine representative of the compound, and this one is grateful not only for the service of Level Set, but for the service of this one, First Foundation. And please, the gift that I gave you, use it in good wealth.
Its use will have purpose.
Perhaps this one will see you at Akshalo when we arrive, if you are heading back there. If not, please find us again when you are, should you decide that you wish to join us in our purpose on a full-time basis.
In service to the prophecy.
In service to the prophecy.
I want to know, what is Tosh doing in all of this? As like the crazy Lee and I are running around and the Wotan are all having their super in-depth conversations.
If there's not a hole to find, Tosh is hand in hand with Ella's cousin, since they are the closest thing to Ella around, And since Ella's been gone, they have not been safe. And so, level of safety is with these ones.
So Goodla's trying to load the cart and turns around and you grab her hand and she's like, okay. And she's like shaking out of it. And then she like loads something up in the cart and then you turn her and she's like, Tosh, can you maybe help me load some things? And then we can go. You can sit up with me this time if you want, or I can sit in the back and First Foundation can drive and then we can talk.
Okay.
Okay.
And Tosh manifests teleportation or dimension door to move stuff from where it is on top of the cart.
Okay. Or do you want to tell? All right.
Yeah.
So you.
Do I have telekinesis? Just
Yeah,
I don't
you do
telekinesis?
now. You do now.
I do now. Yeah.
You've evolved.
That's what we're gonna do.
So you're like, look what I can do. And Goodla turns around, she's loading it, turns around, and then goes, she's like, have you always been able to do that?
No. And then Tosh just grabs her hand as telekinesis is happening. And with the blindfold on still, because, you never know who's around.
A fact. All right. So Goodla gives in for a while and just lets you hold her hand and load the cart at the same time.
Yes.
The rest of you complete your tour and level set. Turns and says, this is what we are doing here. This is the all of it.
The work is good.
It's temporary of the work that we will do.
Indeed. This one thanks these and those for the hospitality.
This one and these always welcome First Foundation. And should this one choose to join these would be happy to have you.
Well, it is time for departure. One thing I was going to say, Ty, is that during the whole tour, I think First Foundation would have been trying to use this new evolution of manifestation energy, the lore aspect, discipline, to try to get a better handle of the purpose. So I'm basically like a manifesting identify purpose to what they're like, the specifics of what they're trying to do. That would be something that he would be trying to do the entire time that he's talking with them, and he's trying to pull information as much as he can.
Based on the activity in the compound?
Based on what he sees and hears.
Okay.
Yep, in the compound.
Why don't you give me a called roll on that?
Okay. Now, called roll is rolling all the dice.
Well, it's 2 dice.
Is it, or is it 3 now?
It's just 2.
It's just 2, always 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I have a 3. I'm gonna push it. Oh no, okay. Can I push a called?
Yeah.
Okay, I will definitely push it.
It's in your discipline, yeah.
Yep, it's in my discipline, right? So I will push it to a 4.
All right, spend a primacy and move it to a 4. So you very clearly observe that this is literally a traveling. It's kind of like a traveling village, but it's self-sustaining. And what they're doing is they set up probably what they're doing is recruiting and building their population so that when they are ready to move forward with Stone Shaper's purpose, they have everything that they need in order to succeed. But given the size of the compound right now, you doubt that it's large enough, and they have a long way to travel in order to get to the tower. So right now, it looks like that this is just a staging area for where they live and where they gain resources and where they recruit other members into the first fulfillment.
Okay.
And for anyone who doesn't remember or is new, the first fulfillment is the name that Stone Shaper gave this group which is something of a cult that is has a particular commitment to fulfilling the first stage of the prophecy of the Wotan, which is the destruction of their tower. And we learned that when Stone Shaper was talking to First Foundation last episode.
Perfect.
Does that clarify pretty much?
Yep, that's great.
Okay, good. All right, so you reconvene with Goodla and Tosh, who are holding hands and watching things levitate into the back of the cart. Penrall and crew move back to their break room, and as the last of the equipment gets loaded into the cart, Goodla turns and says, "All right, did you get everything? Are we ready?" Good. Okay.
I guess so.
I guess so. All right. First Foundation, do you want to drive? I'm gonna sit back and hang out with Tosh. Ode, you can sit up front if you want to, or you can sit back with us.
I mean, do we need to have any proof that we like completed this mission, or just not having the note anymore? Is that good enough?
I don't know. Did the governor say they needed anything?
They just said deliver this, and then we did.
Did anyone anyone have anything to take back to the governor?
We're supposed to do this. The cousins are reason. Supposed to come back.
No messages or anything?
Message from Stone Shaper that they will be arriving on the morrow to visit with the governor.
Okay. There you go. There you go. I mean,
That's
if we
good
go
enough
back,
proof.
I mean, governor knows I'm not going to do anything that I shouldn't do because my whole group is back in. I mean, my whole family's back in Oxalo, really. A big part of my family. The governor trusts me. I think that's why the governor sent me, actually. So if we're
Yeah,
ready, we can go.
that's probably it.
You're making me nervous, so it's early.
Well, it's just, something to think about. Why would he send you out here,
Yeah.
for this very important meeting?
First Foundation, you talked to him. Does it seem like it was very important? Because I really don't want things to be getting sideways. I have a lot to do when I get back home, and
This one believes the message passed along to Stone Shaper was indeed of great importance.
That's the spirit.
there we go. Okay, well, let's get back, and I'm ready to get back, honestly.
All right.
You can likely tell how excited I am about accomplishing this task.
I'm looking for the vibe.
There's
I
a
think I see
twinkle
it.
in his little, wires
It's a little faceplate.
faceplate.
Okay. All right, so everybody loads up, and First Foundation, you get guiding everyone out of the way, or out of the camp. Okay. All right, so you exit the compound and get back on the trail across the plains there, and there we go. As you are moving along, is anyone sitting up front with First Foundation, or is it everybody in the back?
I'm
I'll
with
be in
the
the back.
cousin. Wherever the cousin is where Tosh is.
Okay. Well, Goodluck said she'd sit back with you, so I guess the three of you are in the back. So First Foundation, give me a called roll body, please.
4 and a 1.
Okay. All right. So yeah, as you're guiding along, once again you notice the approach of an Andal. But this one's not like barreling at you the way the first two did. And it looks like there's a rider. And it is moving in your direction.
Look
And to
there.
remind To remind everyone, the Andals are those large flightless birds. I will show the group in Roll20 again to remind you. But this one has a rider.
Does Ode see that guy coming?
You were in the back, which is why I asked.
Oh, okay.
So unless First Foundation alerts anyone, it seems like the three of you are sort of engaged in conversation.
I'm very short.
Yeah.
I would alert people to the fact that there is an Andal, since they were such a problem for us before.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So everyone alerted now. Anyone who wants to look, you see a rider approaching.
Ode will stand up in the back of the wagon and just like pop its head, like standing on its very tippy toes over the edge of the side of the wagon. See what's going on.
Little peek over the edge. And Goodla's like, I can't see who that is, but it looks like it might be one of mine. And as the distance is closing, First Foundation, you recognize Ela riding on the back of the Andal.
It is our friend Ela, your cousin.
Oh, Goodla stands up in the back of the wagon and starts waving her arms. Ela!
Gouda! I'm coming!
And you pick up a bit of a loping trot as you move towards the wagon, and the two sides greet. They're in the middle, and Ela has come back sporting a basic but new-looking bow of a pale wood, and looks very pleased. And Goodla jumps out of the wagon and runs toward you with her arms open.
Ela will dismount and she'll say, "Thank you, Chipper," and like tap the the Andal on the side and like rubbing its feathers, and then will head in the direction of her cousin.
Okay, and she just runs over and gives you a big hug, and I heard you were at Aksha, but I missed you. I didn't realize you were coming in.
Yes, I thought I would see you, and then apparently you were out here up north, and then with prisoners, they said, or people who were imprisoned, and the description matched my friends, so I definitely tried to head off in this direction for multiple reasons, of course. And then she's going to look at the group kind of with like a little bit of concern, like trying to see if they're still in trouble.
We were in jail.
Yes, that's what I heard. I don't know exactly why. I didn't get all of those details, but I wanted to come in this direction because obviously I wanted to see what was going on. I'm assuming everything is fine now, of course.
Well, I think I'm probably fine. The governor just asked us to do a little job for him, and then he said that he's gonna give me back my stuff. So that'll probably happen.
So he had your things. Did you try to take your item, and then that's why you were imprisoned?
No. All right. So we heard this rumor that the governor had died, but like he had my stuff. So I want to find out, like, did he, like, was he alive or was he dead? So we just wanted to have a look, and then they arrested all of us. So that's kind of how that went.
Goodla says the reason why they were arrested, I heard, was because they were asking questions about the governor's death, and they were asking a lot of questions. But I have to say, there seems to be some strangeness going on. And I haven't even seen the governor since I've been back in town. And I'm supposed to replace him at some point.
Yes, and I'm really excited for you. That's
Thank you.
Quite the honor.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to give up the group, but duty.
Of course.
Duty calls. Yeah.
Well, that's part of the reason why I went into town, and I was trained by Hav, and it was successful. I can now properly shoot a bow, finally.
Oh, congratulations.
This is good news.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
look. And then she's going to show like First Foundation. It's definitely not like the others, and referring to her past attempts at making a bow.
This is very, very nice work.
It was a gift after I completed my trials. It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into the training, but they're complete.
Goodless says, show us, shoot something. And she looks around and see if you can hit that rock. It's about 60 feet away.
Better yet, do you have something that you can throw that distance? And then I can pin it to the rock.
Oh, I bet we do. Oh, I don't know if I can throw something that far, but
Tosh can make things float now.
oh, that's
Ah,
right. That's right.
I've got telekinesis with my mind stuff.
Oh, that's
I could-
right. You have
I could-
telekinesis.
Pick up something and just chuck it into the air. Is there like a little rock around?
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
Okay, I will chuck it into the air for Ela. See if this works. You know what? I rolled a 3 and a 1, so I would like to use primacy to push that to a 4.
Primacy.
Okay.
privacy.
Oh yeah.
So Ode's like, shoot this, whoosh, and a rock goes flying into the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she takes her bow, kind of like puts it in position, carefully, like concentrating on the target, and she extends and releases. And it's
All
very
right.
it's very fluid. It's probably something that like if First Foundation ever saw Ela attempting to try to like shoot her bow in the past, it definitely looks like basically whatever training she did paid off. I did roll 2 4s.
Oh,
Wow.
The rock goes flying in the air, and Ela just whoosh, snap, and the rock shatters into just a bunch of particles.
well done,
I'm-
Ela.
I'm glad we're friends.
Of course. Why wouldn't you be friends?
No reason. Just looking at this just powder as it like descends out of the sky.
I just want everyone to know that as soon as Ela was done shooting that thing, they just feel Tasha's hand grab hers, and just like you heard nothing, and just sit standing there.
I missed you too, Tosh.
Hmm.
How has everything been? Did you find any holes?
Many, especially those in logic, but no answers.
At least not yet.
No. Also, very not safe without you. We was in jail. I released birds. They did not
It
help.
was awesome though.
What, you released birds in the cell?
Yes, I thought it would be a good distraction.
Oh, well, hopefully no harm came to the birds. Or you, for that matter. And then she's gonna look and like kind of like with Tosh, like kind of twirl Tosh around to like make sure everything's intact.
Tosh just kind of like shuffles in a twirl. No damage. No damage to Tosh, believe it or not.
Okay.
Like, I am
that's good.
fine. Jerry's not fine.
Who's Jerry?
Our Gore, our friend, Jerry.
Oh.
Meet Ela.
Hello.
Jerry's just like, Goodla goes over and runs her fingers along a scar that looks like it's mostly healed. He's doing all right. He'll be all right.
He's a brave warrior, seasoned battle tactician now. Jerry the Gore.
I believe it, especially if they're alongside Gutha, for sure. So where are you headed?
Well, we're headed back to Oxalo, but I mean, you came all the way out here. You know what I was thinking? Because I know that you really honor your grandmother, and that's what I'm gleaning from your training. That's why you were there. Would you like to see her ancestral home? It's on the way back. We have to
of
divert a little
course.
bit. Yeah. Phenum Plaque. And Phenum Plaque means fern place.
Oh, yes. I would like that very much. But I don't want to take away from if you have any particular mission set at the moment.
Gudla looks over at everybody at First Foundation. I don't think we're on a huge time crunch. It would delay us by a day at most.
They didn't say how long we had to complete this mission. So, I mean, I guess we could take another day if you want.
Only if you don't mind. This is something like your mission to find what you lost. This is kind of for me to find what's been somewhat lost from the past, or putting the pieces together, if that makes sense.
Oh, sure. And besides, if the governor dies, then Goodla is in charge, so Goodla could then return my stuff to me.
She pats Jerry, and she sort of snickers to herself, and she's like, I can't argue with that logic.
Well, then let's go. I'll get on the back of Chipper, and then she's going to point in the direction of the Andal.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go. I'm gonna Tosh, I'm gonna sit up with First Foundation now and make sure we head the right place. So Gudla she climbs back up into on the bench and says, all right, let's go this way. And she directs you in a more south westerly direction from the direction to Oxalo.
And then Ela will follow on the back of. She named the Andal Chipper, if you haven't already guessed.
That's beautiful.
To ride as close as possible. So then that way, obviously kind of towards the front, but just staying in tow with everyone else.
Okay. All right. Okay. So onward you go for some time, and as you're traveling along, of course, Gudla's having conversation with you about family stuff and your training and how it's been a while since you had seen each other. She's just a little bit older than you. She's in her 30s. So she's like big sister age by some range, but you know each other well.
On the way, Gudla, in your opinion, what does it take to be a proper mother or father, a leader?
She tries not to smirk at first when you say mother, but then she says, well, a leader, yeah, I think it just takes honesty and courage and openness and not putting up with anybody else nonsense, if you know what I mean, when the time comes to stand up to it. But
why do you think that she wasn't chosen? Was it just the timing, or was it qualities that she lacked?
I don't really know too many of the stories of your grandmother, but my understanding is she didn't want to. Like I always heard I think she wanted. I think her whole reason for what she did was because she was such a good hunter. She didn't want to give that up. Simply, plain and simple. And she led in her way without becoming a mother. And we still talk. I mean, you still talk about her so much. Your family holds her in such high esteem. We all do. Based simply on what she did solely as just such a remarkable huntress. But I don't know. I don't know if there were reasons that she wasn't allowed to either. I don't know enough about that branch of the family.
I understand. I guess sometimes I contemplate these things, and where I don't know where I'm meant to be on my journey, and whether or not I would make a good leader. Like, you're a great leader, and I'm sure that you're going to be a great governor one day, if the time comes.
Well, you're motivated to follow in your grandmother's legacy. I'm motivated because none of my grandmothers ever did anything that cool. So
Well,
I
at
want
least
to
that
be.
we know about, that
Well,
is.
yeah, I haven't heard any stories really. I mean, I love those women. They have all been phenomenal, and some of them have been, of course, they were mothers, not just mothers to the mothers, but
Hmm.
for the family. So, but I don't know of any of them that have done anything like this. And the fact that I have been able to lead the reclaimers and will move into governor, I'm pretty proud of that, And I'm
As you
proud of
should
you
be.
for what you're doing. And I think that you should follow that. I definitely think you should.
Thank you. I think I'm heading on the right path,
I think you
even though
are.
I'm not quite there yet, but I'm
Did
getting
you see what you
closer.
did to that rock? And you just learned?
That's true. I guess grandmother's spirit lies within me, somewhat at least.
That's enough justification for me. If you needed any in the first place.
And Hila will kind of focus on the road again ahead.
First Foundation leans over at some point to Goodla and just says, "This one believes that you will make quite the leader someday. This one is confident of these. I wonder, what if you could share does the current governor have, by way of experience in leadership, what placed them in their position other than lineage? Was there some feat of bravery or leadership?"
The Yalonk and Nalnik families have a long history in Oxalo that goes back to the emergence. When our family joined the Yalonks in their villages for safety, and when we, as I understand it, when the families came together, they decided to establish a new way of living, a new homestead, which is now Oxalo. And so in the process of choosing a leader, it goes back and forth between the two families. And Durham, I believe, was chosen because of wisdom. I think was the trait that put him there. And Oxalo has done a fine job of thriving during his governance. And I was very concerned to hear when he fell ill, and a little bit nervous about how, I would step in. Now, in the time since he's recovered, from what I understand of his recovery, I've come to terms with my responsibility. And I think I was chosen because my dear cousin, as my cousin observed, of my leadership skills. And I'm getting older, so it makes sense that I could step into a more political situation for the township on representing both families, instead of going out for the next however long after I do move in and let someone else have a shot at leading. Hila, perhaps you would like to take my position with the reclaimers at some point.
It's definitely not out of the realm of possibilities, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Only
we'll see.
time will tell. But
We don't
I do
know.
have a question.
Hmm.
You mentioned that you had suspicions. Now, I am still catching up on all of the occurrences that I seem to have missed. Can you expand further on what you meant by that?
All I know is I too had heard that the governor was ill, and I think that's true. And the governor, he was ill for a long time. And I thought I was going to have to come back and assume duties without ever even having a conversation with him. It was that serious. It sounded like he wasn't going to pull through. And then before I came back, and I wasn't called back, so I didn't come back right away, I heard that he had recovered. And now it's been a little over a month or so, maybe 2 months in that time. And so the rumors still mill around, but I did come back 2 days ago. We came back and we delivered some things to the governor's mansion, but I wasn't called in. I haven't had audience with him yet. So I have not seen him for months. I haven't actually seen him since before he fell ill. Now, your friends tell me that he didn't look well when they saw him.
He looks real bad.
Like how bad? Like, can you describe him?
If I remember right, like he looked all like dead in the eyes, like, you know, like it's hard to explain. He didn't look real good.
Okay.
This is true. He looked as if his spirits had been deadened, perhaps, or his energy had been lacking. There was something that I should tell you that troubles this one from their conversation with Stone Shaper. Perhaps it is nothing, perhaps something. Stone Shaper, who appears to have quite a industrious relationship with the governor, mentioned to this one that the governor had a sense of newness to him, some sort of something else. But Stone Shaper did not elaborate, and I found it to be the inopportune time to press a newness to him that rings with this one as interesting.
Newness, do you mean that it wasn't like himself? Like the way that others seem to have known him prior to, I guess, when he fell ill?
That's what it sounds like to me. Is that all that that Stone Shaper said, First Foundation? Something different?
A newness and something different in the governor.
I mean, does his kind reincarnate like my kind does?
No,
Like
no. Our ancestors go on to somewhere else, and we join them there. They don't return to us.
So generally a newness is not a thing for your people.
A newness doesn't sound. I don't know what that means. I need to see him, actually.
It would be difficult for this one or these to judge newness of the governor, given that this group has only met the governor once. It would be prudent, good luck, for you to have an audience with the governor and see with your own eyes.
I'm hearing these rumors. I'm hearing what you just said. And I was sent out as your guide, sight unseen with the governor, to take care of this message. So there are a number of things that are gathering that seem different, just different. And I'm concerned that I haven't seen him for so many months. I don't know what to make of it all. So you're right. I definitely hope I can get audience when we return. Before I have to take the.
Do you feel like maybe you're being given a lot of things, like a lot of missions to keep you away from town?
I wasn't feeling like that until we started talking about it yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, because, you know, if I didn't want to give up my seat in the government, I for sure would make sure my successor was not around.
It would be very against the tradition of our two families for that to happen. And it would be extremely abnormal for any lamplack to behave that way. So, yeah. So my concerns are growing. Ela, my concerns are growing.
For the others, and she looks to everyone, I've seen some of the abilities that you all have that are very different from me or Gudla. Did you sense that perhaps it was something along those lines and manifesting within him that caused him to behave that way, perhaps?
This one did not get that sense. However, there was something interesting. Gudla, you may know the answer to this, but the governor had a companion that appeared to speak with him in a hushed tone, whispers perhaps, while we were in conversation with the governor. It appeared multiple times to provide the governor with information or counsel. Is this something that you know of?
Was it Cregan? Or maybe his nurse?
No,
Nimstrasala?
I do not believe it was.
What did they look like?
First Foundation, who absolutely knows 100% what this thing looked like, is going to relay that to everyone, but Dave cannot remember all the details. So
you remember it was a large arachnid. It was dull orange in color and had black and white bands on it.
hey, thanks, Bleak.
Yay!
We just got some advantages for the players. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, he loves spiders.
Like, here you go, I'm out of here.
It's referred to as a flicker bug because when the flicker bugs are carrying babies, they sparkle in scintillating light. And that's when you know that they're most active as a threat.
Oh.
This one did not have the sparkle. So it was not nurturing young.
Would Ela know anything about these flicker bugs? Because obviously, spending time out in nature.
Anything beyond the basics? You can make a call, roll
Well,
lore.
just whether or not that behavior, like if they can communicate in that way, like if that's abnormal, that behavior.
I would say that right there is abnormal. Already.
Mm-hmm.
That's not. Flicker bugs don't talk to people.
Yeah.
They're just bugs.
Would she know anything beyond that as far as like what they're capable of, or if they're able to kind of, I don't know.
Give me a call, roll lore, and I'll tell you what you know
Yeah.
about them as a creature.
That was only a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
Okay. You know enough about them that they're essentially just an arachnid. When they sparkle, it's because they're carrying young, and it's the young that sparkle,
Mhm.
and that their bite drains primacy. But you don't know anything about them being communicators to
Yeah.
humanoids. What this suggests to all of you is that perhaps there's a starnum in there. The starnum are the culture that ultimately were responsible for creating the emergence. The starnum were not from Nuovarden. They came through the dimensional membrane and posted up in Nuovarden and thought they could make it a better place. And they are the ones that had all of the manifesting energy. But when the land seeped the manifesting energy from them into itself, it left them stranded, and their discipline is only mind. but they have the ability to inhabit other life forms because they don't have a physical form to speak of in and of themselves. They are a plasma form that is semi-corporeal, and they have the ability to go into other life forms. So the fact that the governor had a flicker bug on his shoulder and was listening to it seemingly speak to him suggests that's probably what's going on. Now, another thing that everyone knows about the Starnum is, and this may or may not have anything to do with it, but they also have a subculture which is actually a faction called the Disciplined. And the Disciplined tend to have more nefarious purposes because they're solely focused on advancing the Starnum, either returning them back to their prominence or helping them escape back to home. And they've not been successful because the Starnum that are in Nuovarden are stranded, and they are not the full Starnum that exist elsewhere in the Megaverse. So that seems to be, and Goodla says as much. She says that's really bizarre. I mean, if the governor has a Starnum advisor, because there's a Selkie already in the court, Nimstra Sala, and Vol is his nurse, and Cregan, you know, Cregan's a diplomat, if you will, representing the business interests, we'll say, of Oxalo. But I don't know about this flicker bug. Now I'm really concerned.
First Foundation has been around since the emergence, right? From the beginning.
Yeah.
Really was created at that moment. Mm-hmm. So he's probably got a bit of knowledge, but I want to try to dig deep and think about what possible motivations a Starnum would have for influencing the geopolitics of this region in particular, and how that might service that faction that Goodla just sort of described.
Okay. Yeah, let's make a call roll lore.
Okay. I did get a 3 that I'm going to use primacy for.
Okay, so you got 1-4?
Yep.
Okay, so you know that the Starnum, that the Disciplined are in their way trying to return the Starnum to their point of prominence. Okay, here's another thought that occurs to you. The Starnum, when they inhabit, cannot hold on to a sentient life form for more than a few seconds or maybe a couple of minutes because that sentient life form is too powerful and will kick them out. First Foundation, it occurs to you that maybe the governor did die and that there's a Starnum inhabiting the governor.
And bouncing back and forth between the governor and the flicker bug, perhaps?
Nope.
No,
they'd be two separate individuals.
It's animating a corpse, not animating like a living host.
The thought does occur.
Okay. I'll express this to the group.
Ew.
Awful. Does that mean that then there's another Starnum in the flicker bug? So it's.
I'm sure there. I'm sure Goodla says, I'm sure there's a Starnum in the flicker bug. There's no other explanation.
So it's both of them then?
I hope not.
Oh, this is a bigger problem than originally thought.
I mean, when a Starnum takes over a person, or a corpse of a person, do they get their memories?
I don't know. Actually, that's a great question, Ode. I don't understand the Starnum very well at all.
So we couldn't ask a question like, do you know where you keep the pies in this establishment? And he would be like, why, yes, I do, because I am the real governor. That's not how it works.
Well, here's the danger. Astarnum could glean the answer from our minds before answering, potentially.
Aw, man.
So it'd be hard to tell. We do have a bigger problem, Hila. and now I feel like this is falling directly in my lap.
Well, perhaps I know that we were going to head in the direction to try to get information on grandmother, but this seems like this takes precedence. That we really need to get back for just to try to get to the bottom of things, because obviously something's going to go terribly wrong if we let this continue, especially if we can try to prove it. At least then we can tell the
Right.
others and take control of the situation.
I'm gonna have to think. I'm gonna have to think. You're my advisors now, okay? Everybody, right now, let's just agree.
Yeah, okay.
You're my advisors, okay? Okay. Let's assume that this is half true. So that makes me the rightful governor right now.
Congrats.
I wish I felt that way too. So here, I need a plan, and I need to get hold of Nimstrasala. Nimstrasala works in the governor's residence, and they are also a poison Sweehan. I don't know if you know who they are, but
Oh, hey, that's the gang we joined.
you what?
Wait,
What?
you joined a
You-
gang?
What do you mean you joined the gang?
Oh,
What in the world
I mean-
happened?
Tosh joined a gang.
Wait,
I'm in a
oh
gang
my
now.
goodness. Why? No, that's oh,
They,
oh my
they
gosh.
wanted to be a friend.
Well, if you joined this poison Sweehans, they would have given you something to prove it. Did they
Shows
give you
the
anything?
pulls out the medallion, shows it.
Oh. Well,
Oh,
that much is true.
jeez.
Puts it back.
Okay, so we'll
A
have to
lot
deal
of
with that
stuff
at some
happened
point.
while you were gone, for real.
They're very good
Yeah.
at making pies.
Pies and trouble. Yes, making lots of trouble pies. I don't. Anyways,
Oh, trouble pie.
Here's what I know. Here's what I can tell you. Okay, so I already admitted it. Let's not make a big deal about it, but I do know people that are in the poison Sweehans that are also in the governor's employ.
okay.
It's good for a leader to know these things. And I trust Nimstrasala. So if I can connect with them, maybe we can get a little bit more information about what's going on. And then I don't think we can move too fast. We have to make sure that all of our steps are taken in the right order. And I don't have a plan right now.
Is there a way we can send a message so then that way we can meet with them somewhere obviously out of reach of the Sarnum?
Oh yeah, no, I can arrange a meeting with Nimstrasala. I can do that. I'm so flustered right now. I can make that happen. That's not a problem.
And
as soon-
Tosh, are you able to protect? You guys are able to do things with your mind, or are you able to potentially maybe block any type of way for the probing into your minds as well? Is that possible?
I can make it quiet, but I can't
Oh.
stop them from going inside.
I mean, maybe I could. If I think about it, I could maybe make it so someone couldn't get in my mind.
Okay, well that's at least good. At least one person. Just in case if something goes wrong, at least there's one person in our group that we can use as like another way to get the message out to someone who can help. Now, how does one repress a Starnum's power?
Yeah, are they allergic to anything, or like run away when they're afraid of something?
Not any more than any of us. It depends on the individual, as far as I know. I feel at a bit disadvantaged because I don't know that much about them.
It occurs to me, Goodla, that if you are the successor, it would likely make you a target for influence by the Starnum at work here. Perhaps there is a way we could use that to our advantage to pull the Starnum from the governor and expose the plot.
It's a good option. I mean, it could be a dangerous one, though.
Yeah, I don't know if we can avoid the danger, no matter what we do. I think the first thing we need to do is try to find out if we can verify more of this before we act. Because if we act inappropriately, I mean, I'm going to lose credibility. We could end up back in jail. We could, a lot of things could happen. There's definitely some evidence mounting here, but we need more information.
Yeah, it just, remember they told us we're not allowed to mention death or leadership when you get back. They're really weird about it.
Oh, I just thought of something. Just in case things go horribly wrong, that cell that you guys were in, I feel like with all of your abilities combined, you should have been able to get out of it. Was there something special about it?
It was awful. It dampens all of your magical gifts, so you're just like normal forever.
Wait, could we potentially use that as a way to trap them, or at least First Foundation? You're able to make things. Are you able to duplicate whatever it was that, as far as the cell itself, like duplicate it somehow?
Wasn't it a metal? Some kind of special ore?
It was. There are ways to construct these things without a doubt, Ela. My abilities are not at that level to be able to do this, but
I see.
study might allow that. There is also the potential to utilize or leverage, perhaps is a better way to put it, a relationship with Stone Shaper, who seems to have great power. The Wotanla are able to manifest and craft items of immense power.
I had the same thought.
I know this might not be completely helpful, but rulers only rule if the people believe them. We have a friend. They make music. If we tell them that the current ruler is not supposed to be, the rumors can start to spread, and your legitimacy will also spread. All you need to do is have enough people say it's true, and it'll be true.
Gudla says, Tosh, I know why the Sweehans picked you out. I see why the Sweehans picked you out.
Yeah,
No,
that's super
that's
smart.
Tasha's response.
That's really smart, Tosh. That's a good idea, actually.
First Foundation, I had the same idea that maybe Stone Shaper somehow could be repositioned in this as well. Maybe not right away from the sounds of it. It sounds like there is an alliance between the two for now.
What would be important would for us to uncover whether or not Stone Shaper is aware of the Starnum presence. That could give us an indication of whether or not they would help us and align with our purpose.
It could be possible. An alliance is only as strong as the people who agree to it. Stone Shaper would be foolish to not agree to the current alliance, even if the one who made it might be false. Politics is hard. Not always the best of morality, but a lot of games, not as fun.
complicated.
If there was a way to show Stone Shaper of the beneficial aspect of aligning with Goodla, perhaps that would aid.
Yeah,
Align with the. If you align with the winning group, it's always better than aligning with a losing one.
I have to be very careful because if I get implicated in anything too early, it's over. I may have to rely on you to take the lead on some of this. Eli, I feel like we're very close, though, to your grandmother's village. I don't know that we're going to gain anything by pushing past at this point if you want to go see it while we're here.
Are you sure? I feel like I don't know. I feel bad to take such a detour, especially given the situation. Unless you feel that honestly, that extra amount of time wouldn't really do us much good.
I feel like everything's happening so fast. I don't know if I'm ready to go back already and deal with it honestly, but
Yeah, let's come up with a plan while we're touring this beautiful native village.
Yes, Tosh?
Tosh goes up to Ela and removes their blindfold and looks directly at them and says, "My people trying to make meaning out of nothing. Sometimes there might be meaning in nothing, and so you should find out."
That's a good point, Tosh. Thank you. And then she's going to take the blindfold because she's like, just in case. And she's going to tie it back around Tosh's face because of the fact that just in case there might be someone, even though there's not, she doesn't believe there is, but just in case.
Never know.
all right. Okay, so pressing on with all of this now weighing on your minds, the landscape changes from open grasslands to the thick groves of forest. The tree line marks what you were told about, or what Gudla was referencing about the location of Phenom Plack Plack. And you can tell that you are nearing the ruin. Now, upon entering the forest, you immediately notice an overgrown mound protruding from the ground. Vegetation covers the mound, but it is clear that the form is not a natural shape to the landscape. Did anyone want to note that or press on?
Ela will investigate for sure because I feel like she would be able to determine what it actually is.
Yeah.
As she progresses forward closer.
And Ode will come with her because it's a strange mound of earth.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have a specialty.
Does Ode get on the back of of Chipper or
You-
floating or something? Because I feel like
I could, but I'm not reliable. I can fly now.
yeah,
but,
that's why I was like, are you just floating around?
but I'd have to roll every turn to keep flying. Yeah, I'll like toddle up to you and be like, "Hey, can you give me a hand?"
Sure, and then just meaning like she doesn't need much to
Yeah, so Odal hold on to the back of your shirt as we like go over to investigate a strange mound.
Okay, so with the wagon stopped and everyone else watching on, Ela and Ode, you approach the mound. It's not huge, but it does stand out to you. And it's overgrown, so it definitely has sustained vegetation for however long it's been there. But Ela, why don't you start with giving me a lore, call roll lore with at a decreased difficulty scale. So you'll succeed on a 3.
That was a 2, but I want to push it.
It's lore, so you'd only push it if you have the lore.
Oh
discipline.
yeah, okay, I forgot about that. Yes.
Can I
never
provide
mind.
assistance
You can
on
throw
a called
in on
roll?
it.
Yeah.
You can throw in on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw in on it.
Okay. Go ahead.
I got double 4s.
Ooh.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
so don't forget that the assist roll is only a 1 die.
I got
But
one
since you
4.
rolled- So
Keep
Eli,
one
you
of
rolled
them.
what did you roll? A 1 and a 3, or a 2 and a 3, or a 3 and a 3?
Oh, for me?
Yeah. What did you
Oh,
roll?
that was 2 2s.
Oh, you rolled 2 2s. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you're looking at it and you're like, gosh, this kind of looks familiar. And then First Foundation is like, it looks like something might be buried in there. And you're like, oh, this is an old burial mound. So
You want to
this would,
see what's
Oh.
inside?
That
Well, carefully, we definitely can. And then she's going to try to basically kind of like carefully try to pull back if it's like something that's covering stone or if there's a certain way that it's usually like those types of areas for a burial ground would be kind of constructed, trying to see who is buried there or who it's for.
so
yes,
this
perhaps there is a marker.
this particular mound is just earth. It's not a cairn. It's just earth.
It's just earth. Okay.
Yeah. And so are you excavating it a little bit, or are you just searching around?
Well, trying to like if there is some type of because even with something that's probably just earth, there would be some type of indicator. I feel like somewhere, to kind of say like who it is. You know what I mean? So not trying to dig it up, but just trying to find the marker to see who was buried there. There has to be some type of indicator of some
Okay.
sort, even if it's I don't know something that would symbolize.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. So you look around. Give me call roll body as you look around
Yeah,
in the
because
grasses and stuff.
a digging of someone's burial site is definitely not respectful, and seeing as that could be family, that's not good. Okay, I got a 4 and a 2. No,
Okay.
I just need a 1 die, right? 1 die
Yeah,
for this one.
just
Okay, 4.
any success get you there. And yeah, so you end up finding some flat stones that are overgrown as well. They're not marked up or anything like that, but the way that you find them pressed into the earth indicates that this is a very old burial of a land plaque individual who probably fell here either by an accident or a fight and was just, and the old tradition is that sometimes people were buried. The more modern tradition was that they were burned.
Okay.
And so you may see different kinds of burial prep.
Browns.
Some of them were just interred in underground tombs as well. So there's a variation in how they were prepared. This particular one appears to have maybe fallen out here and was just buried where they lay. And it would be pre-emergent. So it would be some long time ago. No doubt it's not your grandmother.
Okay.
But yeah, because it's too informal. But
For sure.
being in proximity to Phenom Plaque, it's probably a former resident of that area who, had met some unfortunate end out here.
All right. So I am able to manipulate dirt, right?
Mhm.
And I can make a hole, but this is above ground. So can I just make all of the dirt of this tomb disappear?
Well, disappear means you would make it like evaporate. I would say you
Because
could,
if I can dig a hole, where does that dirt go?
you just place it over. You could move it.
Okay.
Or
Or can I turn all the dirt in the tomb to water?
you
and
could try to
then
do that. It's a
it
little
would
harder
just
for you, but yeah.
out, and then like everything that's left would just be sitting there in a pile.
Yeah. Or make a pool.
A pool?
Right. Yeah, you could just, right.
Well, I don't want that much water. But yeah, it just splosh out.
Okay. Does anyone else have an input on that?
Ela would probably tell Ode, I think it's best to let those who have passed on rest. We don't want to disturb. I just wanted to see who might have been buried here, but we should probably leave this ground sacred.
Oh, well, I mean, usually after like, a couple of seconds, it just comes back. It'll rebury him if we don't.
But it's still out of respect. We don't know if it was because of a great battle or some other reason, but if you don't mind.
Ela speaks the truth. It is best to leave these sacred burial sites as they are, Ode.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll find other things you can dig. There's other holes to be digged, but not this one.
Holes?
Yeah, not this one. And then she's like doing like the no, do not touch
of holes.
Oh.
Yes. We'll continue on.
All right.
Passing. Yeah.
All right. So deciding to leave things where they lay, you proceed on. And as you do proceed on, you spy the buildings of a ruined and abandoned village. An open and decrepit series of buildings, moss-covered and overgrown with ferns, gradually emerges within the dense forest. Buildings stand in various states of disrepair, and no clear path or roadway is visible. This is the village of Phenom Plock Plock and former home of the Nalnik family. And I think that's where we'll break.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
So if everyone wants to get in on the drawing, don't forget to do that. Dave?
Yeah, !drawing to get in on the giveaway. We're going to go ahead and draw the lucky winner at the end of tonight's stream. And also don't forget to sign up for the Adventure Slang email list and get some sweet, sweet digital loot for your online Nuovarden adventures. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes and find out what we're going to run into in this Phenom Plock Plock. Hello, everybody. We're back. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight as we play Nuovarden and get into some lore, some legend, and some intrigue. This is getting very, very interesting. I'm excited to see how all the pieces come together. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to jump in on the giveaway, !drawing to enter for your chance to win a copy of the Nuovarden core rulebook. This game is really, really fun, Ty. Thanks for creating it and bringing it to the Guild Superior Twitch channel. And thanks for all of you for being here to play. I'm going to hand it back to you so we can jump back into the action.
Wonderful. And thank you for having me. And of
course,
thanks for enjoying my game. So let's see what else we can discover with it tonight in our time. So you have just ridden into this village area. And again, it's very lush. There are a lot of ferns, and it's overgrown, and it clearly has been here a long time. But Ela, in particular for you, Gudla, being a goodwill reclaimer, knows that this was central to both of your families, well, it's the same family, and that there is some sort of connection to your grandmother in particular with this exact village. And so she was excited to show it to you. And now here you are standing in the remnants of the place where Kai Cal Nalnik once lived. And let me just, I do have a floor plan, for lack of a better term. If you want to look around a little bit in Roll20.
Ooh.
So a typical Lamplack ruin, a village ruin, has a number of homes And then it has a few shops. There's usually a tanning yard. There often was a forge. There were a lot of crafting areas or building areas, because pre-emergence, the Lamplack were very technologically oriented. They lost that technological knowledge when the emergence happened and the Wotan absorbed it all. But they had a central hall, which was the communal gathering point for education, announcements, celebrations, all that sort of stuff. And then, like I said, some other shops, but all of it now here has just been abandoned. And from the looks of it, neither Lamplack nor Wotan stuck around. But what else you might discover remains to be seen. So what do you do? And you're all coming in from the top. So you're coming in from the north side.
This is beautiful.
Wow, it's amazing. It's still somewhat intact. For the one building that Hila sees directly in front, that's I think it's number 6.
Mhm.
What does it look like? What does it look like to her, like as far as the larger building in the center?
So the building itself is the 9.
Or is it 9? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. The 6 is more like it's a pile of debris and abandoned stuff. But the building itself is, that building right there is the central hall. So that was the primary gathering point for the whole community, and that's again where education happened and all that kind of stuff. That building is like 12 by 16 feet. So what is that? Math, 140-ish square feet, which is actually, no, that can't be right, because this map is not bigger. So anyway, that is the large central building, and that would be one place, frankly, where you may find any sort of record.
I think that Hila would start advancing forward towards that center main building, because it looks like it might hold something of import.
Mm-hmm. Is anyone doing anything other than accompanying Hila?
First foundation would be taking in the architecture, sort of the style of construction, evaluating it on its, structural integrity, and sort of trying to absorb a little bit of what he could learn about the culture.
Okay. Some of the obvious things are that the technology was pretty sound. The fact that these buildings still stand, which, it's only 100 years, so there hasn't been just major, what's the word I'm looking for? A major decline in the integrity of it.
Erosion.
But they are heavily overgrown. As I said, it's very fern, so there's a lot of moisture in this forest. The buildings have some patchwork damage to them, where some of the fern and moss and stuff grows through. All of a sudden I'm having bandwidth problems. But the fact that, again, it's all pretty much all the buildings are intact in one way or another, it kind of echoes your understanding of technology, which is what you're all about.
Do any of the structures look as though they've been compromised from looting or vandalism, or, is there any sign that people have been here excavating or doing anything of that nature?
Simply based on looking around and observing?
Just kind of an observation as we're walking in.
Let's have you do a called roll lore. A called roll body.
4 and a 3.
Okay. Judging by some of the foliage, it does look like there is traffic through here periodically. So it has not gone completely undiscovered over time. Ela Goodla sidles up next to you and takes your hand and says, I've been here before, but not for long. Are you excited?
I am, and I don't know why. A little bit nervous for some reason.
Yeah. Our ancestors are probably watching.
Maybe it's just their presence that I feel.
I think you're right.
Well, should we go in together? Well, I mean, you probably have been in before. I don't know.
We've been around the compound, and we have we've been through here a few times, but honestly, I have been here looking for your grandmother's bow, but I've never been able to find it. I don't know. I've hoped. It's what we do, but I've had no luck.
Well, hopefully we come across maybe some indicator as to its whereabouts, especially if it's here. That would be amazing.
That would be great. That'd be great. You also see, by the way, that Goodla's carrying her scythe now. She carries this long scythe, and it's got two blades, one on each end, and it crackles a little bit with electrical energy as well. But she has that in hand.
You are always far better with that weapon than I was, for sure.
Lots of practice.
Ode would like to fly up and just kind of survey the village.
Okay.
There goes nothing. Oh, man. Double ones.
Okay.
Oh, no.
You go, watch this. I'm going to check it out. And you make a face, and nothing whatsoever happens.
Oh, I thought that would go better.
Did you say
Are you
something,
okay?
Ode?
No, never mind.
Do you have to use the restroom? Your face is Are you like? I mean, there's plenty of places over there if you need to use the bathroom privately.
Yep. I'll be right back. Just goes off behind a tree and just stands there with it.
Now would be an
new.
appropriate time to dig a hole.
Well, you'll get the hang of it. So, Ela, last I heard, you were moving then towards the building.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I'm basically going directly into the building there.
Yeah, this one will follow.
Okay. Goodla as well. Tosh, anything?
Tosh, other than just looking around, if any of these buildings have like a window, they'll try to use their enhanced vision to like peer through the window from a distance, just to see if there's anything interesting. But other than that, just gonna stick with Ela.
Okay. If you want to make a roll for that, you can see if it helps.
Primacy. Bring it up from a 3 to a 4.
Show me on the map which building you might be trying to look into.
Let's see here. I think just by general walking, it's going to be this one to the far right of the screen, there left.
So by enhanced vision, I assume you're trying to do something more like a telescopic or something like that, rather than the... That's interesting. The idea there is that with stealth, you're doing more like an enhance, a darkness sort of thing. But we'll go with what you're shooting for. And you just looking inside, you can tell that this looked like some sort of residence, but there's a lot of like collapse and leaning timbers that look like they're starting to rot and things like that. So from here, it looks like, just an abandoned homestead.
Cool. I guess with the flavor, it would just be like to make the darkness of the building a little less for his vision,
Gotcha.
so he can see a bit clearer. But that's fine. But he's still like really just walking with Ela.
Okay.
There's no holes and there's not a lot of darkness, so Tosh is.
I would say that with all the overgrowth and things like that, there's plenty of shadow, just in case you need to know that.
Thank you.
All right. So carefully you move into the building. The wreckage of this room indicates a fairly thorough looting and includes broken and overturned pews, tattered and rotting banners, and a partially collapsed ceiling. A faded and difficult to interpret portrait adorns a shadowed wall at the back of a low stage at the head of the room.
Ela's definitely going to go walk towards that portrait for sure.
Okay. All right. Goodla, of course. Goodla is keeping a bit of a watch, but also looking around, and says, "Oh yeah, I think that's your grandmother." And looking up there, you see that there's a faded painting that looks like a very proud Lamplak warrior holding aloft a black bow adorned with copper embellishments and inlay. And it looks like it starts to unfold a history of hunts of us in a sort of timeline that follows a river that leads to a pond with a waterfall. And then you're trying to make out at the waterfall what the imagery is there. And there's something there, but it's really faded. Let me have you make a call roll body to see if you can look in the shadow and make out a little bit more detail.
I can push this because I have body. I'm going to push this so I can have at least one success.
Okay. So looking more closely and studying the images that you can make out, at the waterfall is a group of Lamplak warriors observing a winged, that same figure that moves along the timeline, a winged figure ascending toward a glowing archway leading to what you determine to be a hall of ancestors. And one of the warriors holds an urn. And that's pretty much the bulk of detail that you're getting out of this thing.
Basically, from that portrait, would it imply that perhaps that if we went to that specific area with the waterfall, that maybe that's where we could find possibly that urn or that particular grounds where she was?
That's a reasonable interpretation.
She's going to kind of like as she's doing that and like kind of like carefully, like if there were tattered pieces, like if she's like trying to like hold it in place or trying to kind of examine, she kind of smiles and looks at her cousin. It is her.
Yeah. Goodla looks. What do you think it means? What does it like? Can you read that? I don't know.
Well, at least what I'm getting from it is that it's documenting all of her great hunts and her accomplishments, and it's showing her with the warriors, but her ascending, which I'm assuming it was when she passed on to join the ancestors. And it's this particular waterfall area. Do you know where this is exactly? Anything that looks similar?
Oh, I think I do. I think, yeah, there's a waterfall nearby. Come on.
I have a feeling that might be where we need to look. Perhaps maybe for her bow. Maybe it was buried there along with her the urn with her ashes, perhaps.
Wow. Let's go check. Okay, let me tell you right now, cousin, this is why you're going to be a good leader. Come on, let's go. Let me show you where it is.
Okay. And then she's going to follow.
Okay.
And then she's going to turn like while they're rushing out. First Foundation. Tosh, are you coming along with, or do you want to explore a little bit more?
Tosh is literally always behind you. Like they.
Yeah, no, like, so if she turns, you probably like run right in because she stops suddenly. Like, oh wait, there's other people other than me and my cousin here.
The only reason why Tosh doesn't hold your hand is because you're obviously using it, but like they are not leaving your side.
Ode is still like bumming around outside by that tree.
Oh, I thought she had thought that they had come in. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that she's got to probably just turn to First Foundation to see if they want to follow.
This one will continue with you. If it were helpful, Ela, I could attempt to reproduce this work of art so that you may take it, a copy of it with you.
You can do that? Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I didn't want to take this because I don't believe in disturbing. I don't know. Again, I still feel like things in this area are sacred, even though others seem to not have thought as much. And she's like kind of looking around at like where places look like they were probably looted. But it goes against what she basically holds dear.
This one can sense your concern. Let me try this. And First Foundation is going to attempt to create a permanent reproduction of this diorama, this painting, this piece of art, as closely as possible to be able to take the key elements of it on a piece of parchment that he manifests.
Okay.
I don't know if that would be a combination of lore and technology.
Yeah, I mean, either way, with the technologies you're trying to manifest, that would be a permanent item, I assume.
It would be a permanent item. Yep.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you're basically just trying to just grab a length of parchment that replicates it like a photograph.
Pretty much. Yep.
Okay. Let's see what you get. Make that a call roll tech.
Call roll tech. Come on. And I have an advantage. Remind me, that's a reroll, basically, of one die if I need it.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I don't need it. I got a 4.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep.
So as First Foundation standing there, this fabric of tapestry just unfurls and rolls down both sides of their hands, and they're holding this probably good 8-foot length of a replication of that tapestry. It's even tattered in the same places, and
I'll give it to you.
And you see where her eyes kind of like get a little watery. Thank you. You don't know how much this means. It's like now I can carry another piece of her with me.
You are welcome, Ela.
You have good friends.
I do. Very lucky that we came across one another in such a way. And she's going to like carefully like fold it, like kind of curl it up, so then that way she can place it in her satchel to try to take it with her bag.
Okay. All right. So you roll it up basically because it's
Like very carefully.
kind of like canvas. Yeah. All right. Good. Just like, all right, come on, let's go. I know where the waterfall is.
Let's go.
An overgrown footpath leads to the west from the central hall and on into the forest. Following the path, you soon come to a large glittering creek as it meanders southward through the forest. To the north, you hear the faint sound of a waterfall. Following the river, you come to an enclosed and serene clearing where a waterfall descends into a calm basin. A plethora of wildlife stirs as you enter the clearing, and the sounds of water susurrate as if a chorus of imperceptible voices. Let me give you a little visual of this waterfall.
It's pretty.
And there are Sweehu flying around that wall, and a number of other small creatures flitting around. So Gudla says, "This is it."
I think Ela will remove the parchment that was given to her by First Foundation to try to kind of examine based on the imagery on the parchment, and kind of trying to find that specific spot that the soldiers or the warriors were holding the urn, and her grandmother was ascending.
So think of it sort of like a medieval manuscript where it's in faded color and there's like more blocky. It's not realistic. But there's the waterfall, and there's the representation of the pond, and then the river kind of trails like a tail. And then there are the handful of the warriors standing there, and the one with the urn. And then ascending across on the other side of the waterfall is the image of Kaikal, and then the glowing arch there of the Hall of the Ancestors.
Okay. But that specific spot that the urn is being held, does it look like it's kind of like similar to any particular spot that they see before them?
It's not detailed enough.
It's not detailed enough.
Yeah, it's very just
like kind of, yeah, okay.
It's like cartoony kind of.
And she would have still taken it out anyway to take a look, to try to see, and then she will kind of take a second and then curl it back up and put it away. She's going to kind of advance forward to try to get closer to kind of almost like where the water would be. If there's any type of growths or anything where it looked like something, I don't know, could have been buried perhaps, or like where something would probably have rested. Maybe, I don't know, anything along those lines.
As you're looking at this waterfall, you literally have the cliff face and the waterfall and this beautiful pond. So the water pours into the pond and then it quickly calms, and then it leads to that creek that streams down past. And then it's just like a lot of bird life and calm sort of serenity. There's no construction here. There's nothing that looks to be obviously disturbed, but you are talking about some time even before the emergence. So this would have happened over 100 years ago.
Can I use my ability to just move the waterfall to the side to see if there's a cave?
You can try and do something like that. You want to
divert it at the top so it's still falling, but it, like somebody pushed it with a hand.
So your base area of effect now is 12 feet up to 24 on a high success. So you can manipulate a pretty substantial section. Are you thinking like the very top of where the water comes down?
As high up as I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can reach up to 128 feet, and then you can affect a 12-foot area at minimum if you're successful.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to see if there's any caves up there, so I'm going to move the water. All right. I rolled a 3, so I will bump that up with primacy.
Primacy!
For 1 success.
As you do that, there's this conflux of energy, and this manifesting energy ripples throughout the glade, and the birds fly up, and there has been a manifesting event.
Oh yeah. It seems to always happen when Ode is manifesting. What's going on?
Oh man, it's happening again.
That's the bleak season, mixing it up again.
Bleak season likes that noise. Bleak season knows that I doubled the size of the table because we talked about it last week. Let me see here. Where is my table? It is. So if somebody would like to roll for me while I look this up, please give me a 3d4 roll and tell me what the total is added together.
Let's do it. Should I do it?
I got you.
You got it?
Yeah.
9.
Okay. So Ode, you're like, move the water, and you go, swoosh. And as you do, the rest of you see Ode just hulk out. And Ode, on your next physical attack, you do an extra d4 of damage as you suddenly become very powerful in that regard, which is completely not your norm. But now, meanwhile, there's this little swole Ode, and you pull aside. And you essentially create a separate waterfall over here off to the side as you pull the water aside. And the rest of you see behind the waterfall that there's a stone wall.
Ode, are you okay? You look different.
Why? What do you mean?
Your voice.
Well, for one, that, and also too, you look like you could almost go toe to toe with me or Gudla here.
Well, that's normal.
Is it? He looks like.
I'm very capable.
Indeed, you are.
I have no doubt about that, but it just seems that you're even stronger than usual. Did you
Thank
eat?
you.
Did you eat some black sludge or grass or something special?
No, I'm actually quite hungry. You got any?
Did you see where she's like nervously like like going into her bag? Does she have any of that the meat that basically she had from before? Like maybe it's like dried meat from the
I'm sure.
Corscatant.
Yeah, imagine so.
Corscatant jerky. I guess we just created. She'll give that to Ode. Here you go.
Thanks.
It's hopefully that helps.
Still 4 foot. Am I 3 foot tall?
Yeah.
Super swole.
Well, you know what they
Water.
say. You're not you when you're hungry.
So meanwhile, the rest of you do see though the stone wall, and it holds just for several seconds, and then whoosh, the water falls back into place and continues back the way that it was. But Ode is still swole. Gudla goes, "What is going on?"
I'm still trying to figure that out. Ode is a mystery in themselves. Like just I haven't figured it out.
I appreciate it. I just I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, me neither. But I guess there's nothing behind the waterfall. At least it doesn't seem.
Ela,
I didn't see anything.
can you gather any additional insight from the painting? Comparing it to the falls here more closely, perhaps might reveal a secret.
That's what I was trying to figure out. But I'm not really. It's very hard to make out where exactly. Perhaps maybe the urn and this individual who held her urn, where exactly they were. I can't make it out unless maybe there's something because you've been around for quite some time. Maybe you can make sense of it. Do you want to see?
This one would look at the painting again.
And Mila would take it out and show First Foundation.
The painting itself, like I said, it's very rudimentary.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much detail. It's more of an inference than a literal depiction of the scene. So you get the waterfall, you get the pond and the creek and the like the rock wall and the people and the urn and the figure of Gudla flying up into the air and the arch into the other realm and stuff like that. But it seems much more metaphorical than literal.
Perhaps a bird's eye view looking down or looking within the waters themselves.
Well, there's a way for me to take care of that. And she's like, here, hold on to this. And she's gonna let First Foundation hold on to that particular the parchment, and she's going to use her ability to turn into a Corsican again.
Okay, all
in order
right.
to get closer and to also get a better view.
Okay, go ahead and make a called roll body for creature morph.
Okay. And I will use 2 dice for this.
Okay.
Okay, so that is a 4 and a 3.
Okay. All right. So you like to unfold, right?
Yeah, so basically it's that same, like the cracking of the bone shifting and then shooting out from the flesh to basically create the wings. She's basically changing her body shape, and you see where it almost like her body elongates into this creature, where her face was obviously. Then it's that same the same snout of the Corsican, or it's more like a beak. So, she's now transformed into Corsican to try to
you fly up. Yeah, you fly up, and as you do, all of the Sweehu and the other flying creatures, they scatter, and then they stop flying around. And like it's only the Corsican flying around now. Yeah, and you shoot up and get up over the waterfall, because you can get higher than actually it is in one shot. And you fly around and you look down there. What are you looking for in particular? Just
in case there's any other openings or interesting formation, something that is definitely different from the norm, that would indicate maybe someplace that was a secret passage or something along those lines. Any type of burial ground.
Called roll body. And since these are called rolls, they're always 2 dice. So.
It is a 2 and a 1.
Uh-oh. Do you want to bump that 1 to recovery?
Yes, yeah.
Does anyone want to help? All right, go for it, Tosh.
Rolling. 3.
Okay.
Is it primacy?
Nope. Sith rolls don't use primacy.
Oh.
As you're flying up above, looking around, you can see the river coming into the waterfall, going over the fall, going into the pool, and then the pool streaming out. But nothing is really standing out to you as far as what might be going on from this angle either. You do recover that primacy if you want to, or you can use one of your other recovers. Okay. And so you're circling around, and then you need to decide if you're going to come back down or you're going to try to maintain it.
I'm going to try to maintain it because there's still that one particular area. I think somebody mentioned that I should check over by the falls themselves. I think that was somebody in the group.
Okay.
Okay, I got a 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 and a
So
1.
you hold on to that form and you shoot down where by the falls, just like kind of like by that rock wall area behind the fall.
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
behind. And it's okay if like she'll like, even if it's like going through
the water.
it or or
Okay.
around. Yeah.
Yeah. Passing through the water and over near the wall and stuff like that. It does not. Nothing appears unnatural.
Is there any writing or anything that's seen?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. She'll then probably swoop back to the group if there's nothing that was to be found in like the waterfall area. Nothing, catches her eye.
All right.
Maybe it's under the water. Give me a fish.
Does Eli hear that? I mean, I'm assuming the Corsican has good ears.
Well, I mean, I don't think Ode was trying to be quiet. So
yeah hearing.
Ode
not ears.
ever
That would be kind of
quiet?
weird. It's just like.
Sorry.
So upon hearing that, basically, like Ela's gonna kind of, as a joke, go underneath and see if there is like a fish creature to give.
So you slip into the pool.
Yeah, to see if there's anything underneath.
You slip into the pool and you're looking for a water creature that you can then turn into.
But also too, like if there is something under the water that beyond the water, the creature to give Ode to potentially eat, because that's how Ela interprets it.
So you're like, you dive into the thing. Good was like, and then you go into the water, and it is hard to miss the massive length of chain that runs at the bottom of the shallow pond, about halfway out from that wall, and it goes the width of the pond, and it goes down into the ground.
Just chain?
Just a length of chain, moss covered, silt covered, chain links that are yay big, that look like they've been sitting there for who knows how long.
Okay. I think Ela wants to, because Ela can't talk in this form, is going to try to yank at said chain.
I would say you haven't even changed form. Or did you go in as a Corsicantant?
No, I went in as a Corsicantant.
Oh,
so
you did?
Technically, yeah.
That's kind of hard. Yeah, you're like trying to swim down, or you can still see that chain, but you're not really in a form to swim very well. So if you want to try to go down there and do that, give me a call roll body at increased difficulty.
Okay.
Which means you have to roll a 4 and then change it to a 5.
Oh, okay. Oh no, got double ones.
Okay, so you're just swimming, you're trying to swim. This is a mundane action, so it has nothing to do with manifestation, but you're just, you're like more flailing around, and you keep floating up, and you're like,
and then that's just not working.
Not working. And then you have to decide if you're going to maintain it again, or if you're going to let yourself.
No, Ela would just let it go.
So then whoosh, that goes down, and you come back to form, and you are, it's not all that deep. So, and your height, you can kind of, it's probably just about 6 feet deep or so.
Ela would then say, "There's chains down here," yelling back at the core.
She throws down her scythe. "Let me help you." Goes wading into the water.
Ode, is there the possibility that you could part the waters for us to investigate?
Yeah, I think I could do that. Bleak, I hate you. All right. I would like to roll to part these waters.
All right.
Double 2s.
Okay. Because this was a manifestation try, you can get recovery, but you do not succeed in parting the water. You're like, I think I can do that. And you're like, that's not working.
It was worth a try.
Don't worry about it, Ode.
Gudla dives down.
Yeah, Ela would do the same.
Okay. So you two
the action.
Swim down there and grab hold of that chain, and then dig in and start pushing and pulling the chain more towards the shallow. And as you come walking out and clear the surface, you're both dragging this chain. And as you do, the rest of you hear that wall behind the waterfall rumble. And you're pulling the chain, and it's lowering the wall. And you can see sort of a darkness opening up behind the water that is a little bit more obvious because of the contrast to the stone wall. And you pull and back up, and the wall comes down. And as it comes all the way down, you see that they're in the rock there, not real obvious. It's sort of curved, worn stone that you can hook the chain on to hold it in place.
Yeah, definitely doing that.
Big archway has opened up now behind the waterfall. Gudla goes, I never would have found this.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have without the help of everyone.
Well, do you dare?
What's there to lose, right?
Nothing. We came this far. Plus, we might die back in Oxalo, so we might as well see what's here.
Well, I definitely have forgotten all about that, but now, yeah.
Sorry, it's on my mind.
Now it's on mine. Definitely.
Okay,
yeah.
put it out of your head.
Let's just go. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right, come on, everyone. All right. So you start picking your way over the slippery stones back behind the waterfall now to this open archway. And I will direct everyone's attention again to roll 20. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Let me do a little change up. Okay. Actually, before I direct your attention to roll 20, let me say that when you step up to that opening, you peer in, and it looks to be something of a rough-hewn chamber that's pretty wide open. It's pretty big. And the light that's coming in from behind you extends in about 20 feet, but then it gets really dark. And then about another 20 feet or so in, on the left-hand side, there is a low orange glow emanating from what looks to be a constructed facade. And the glow looks gem-like, and it's casting a very dim light onto the face of what looks like a stone sarcophagus. And other than that, you feel that there's this sense of a very large opening around you, and there's a lot of rubble.
Are any of you able to make light, or
Oh,
just to get a better a view of what's ahead?
I guess I could.
Yeah, I'll try to make it lighter in here by affecting light.
Come on, Swole Ode, let's go.
So you have a couple of options, Ode. You can temporarily affect the light, or you can do fire and light somebody's torch or lantern or something if anyone's got that in their inventory.
I do not.
Anybody got a torch?
Check your inventory. I believe that some of you have light.
Oh wait, I think I do. Wait, I have I have a fire starter. Oh wait, I don't have that.
Hey, heroes and hooligans.
I can see in the dark.
Sort of.
Okay, is there anything nearby that could be used? Because I have a fire starter, like where I can probably with.
You have a swole fire starter for that matter, but yeah.
Yeah.
Fire starter.
Yeah.
Gudla helps put together a rag and torch kind of thing put together, and it says, "All right, somebody light this."
All right,
Yeah.
I will attempt to use my magical ability to light it. And then I do have a backup that doesn't work. You know what? I rolled a 3, so I'm gonna use primacy to
All right.
light that torch.
Okay, so you light that torch, and the way that you light it, it goes into the wood immediately and the fabric and stuff. And so Gudla's like, all right. And she holds up her scythe and she says, I need both hands for this. So somebody want this?
I can take it.
All right, there you go. Okay, so what this torch does is it gives you a 16 feet of light. And let's say that's enough to give you, let me look at my, we're going to do it this way. We are going to show you this map. Go ahead and put your tokens on there if you'd like. And you can just feel the depth of this chamber, but from where you're standing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you prepared to press in?
Yes. But before that happens, I want to try to attempt to do something. I want to try to, because of the fact that we have limited vision, but also to like sensing if there's any type of other like presence, like or creatures or anything. She's gonna try to do like where like her feet are bare, where
Mhm.
she tries to basically enhance her body to kind of
Mhm.
like as she steps down to sense almost like if there is like if she can sense using like the heels of her feet to sense if there's anything ahead, like other
You're trying to feel the vibration,
the vibrations, yeah,
Uh-huh.
what that ends up basically indicating to her
if
without
anything's
being
moving.
able to use her sight. Yes.
Okay. I will, so that'll be a called roll body, but it will be at an increased difficulty scale.
That's fine. I got a 4 and a 2.
So you can bump the 4 to a 5, spend primacy.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I'm definitely going to do that.
Okay. So you take a moment and you feel, and the first thing you can feel is the water, right? The waterfall and the trembling
Mhm.
from the river up above, and the falling and the cascading and things like that. And it doesn't seem like there's any movement in here. But then there's a brief shift and then it's gone again. So there's nothing walking around, but something else shifted.
That
Whatever,
wasn't
but it's hard to say what it was.
Okay. I'm not sure. I sensed something for a brief second, but I don't believe that there's any immediate dangers ahead or anyone else for that matter, at least. I'm not sure. I'm not certain. Should we still advance forward? And she looks at her cousin.
It goes, oh yeah. I mean, look over there.
I know. I want to see what lies ahead.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. And then she's gonna go forward, but she's gonna also too, like, because it's one of those things where, because when you think of someone with a blindfold, you think that they can't see. So she's gonna basically reach back for Tosh, like, hold on to me and stay close.
Tosh immediately grabs your hand, and it's like shoulder to your hip.
Like trying to protect the little one that she thinks literally cannot see a thing, even though that's probably not the case.
Not at all, but it's adorable.
Watch your
Okay.
step. Be careful.
So collectively, then you all move forward.
With technology, is First Foundation able to manifest light?
No, light is an element.
Okay.
You could manifest an item that then, like, if you had element, which with technology you technically can't at your evolution, but it's something you could collaborate with Ode on.
Like I could manifest a torch.
Well,
Right.
maybe you could manifest a lantern,
Possibly.
right? And then we just have me.
So currently you can
Fill it
temporarily
with
manifest.
oil.
Oh, you can use your tool to
I
manifest
could
a
use,
temporary
I was
item
thinking
for
I
an
could
hour.
use the master tool to manifest some sort of a light source, but yeah, I like the idea of a lantern.
Okay.
I'll give it a try.
Okay. So it's called roll tech, and you're using the tool, so it's at a decreased scale, right?
Yep.
I sent you the information on that.
It's got a decreased DS and duration of an hour, and I regain a spent primacy
Okay,
in
and you
its
can do
use as
that
well.
one time
one time per darkening,
yeah.
or per day or whatever.
per day.
Yep.
Yeah.
I rolled double twos,
So you
but
can
I
bump
have
one of those
primacy. Yeah, I'm going to bump one up to a 3 for success.
Okay, and
Yeah.
it's almost automatic because you can get it right back with your
Right.
with your tool.
Okay, so there we go. I have a lantern.
Okay, so you're like, here it is, shink. And then, that means you can make it burn, whether it has fuel in it or not, probably. Or this is where you could.
Light me up, Ode.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try. All right, I will try to use my magic. Success.
What'd you get?
I got a 4 and a 1.
Okay. All right. So are you doing light or are you doing flame? Because the duration is going to be the same because technically there's not fuel in this lantern unless somebody has oil or something in your inventory that you
think of
might be able
that.
to burn in it.
Tosh reaches into their bag and pulls out kind of like a piece of their tent. Like they have a 2-man tent and they just rip a big thing around it and offers up the fabric.
Okay. So that gives it something to burn on, which then with the glass in the lantern gives it a better reflection. I like it. Okay. Now you're talking about something like this.
There we go.
And to enhance your experience there, I'm going to give you another image that's more artistic for the moment, and then we can go back to this map. But as you get closer to where that source of light is coming from, more in the middle, it's looking more like this now.
Wow.
Is that does that look similar to her family sigil that she's seen?
That sigil is literally a glass look or crystalline representation of the sky crystal.
The sky crystal itself.
Yep.
Okay.
The sky crystal itself. There's no talons, which are unique, specific to your sigil, but the sky crystal is definitely represented there.
Okay.
And it is giving off a low glow in and of itself. And it's affixed to that facade. And then you see right in front of it is that sarcophagus. And let me see here. Seemingly overlooked and forgotten, the hidden passage leads into an apparent tomb. Other than a layer of dust and a particularly pungent musk, the tomb appears undisturbed by explorers or looters up till now. Rubble and debris clutters the floor of a natural cavern, and central to the chamber is a heavy stone sarcophagus, the lid of which is chiseled to portray a female warrior in repose, clutching an elegant bow and adorned in ceremonial garb of hide and furs, accented by a metal headband, rings, and neckwear. So the lid of this thing is literally designed like that.
The writing, is she able to determine, like, or confirm that it's probably her grandmother?
Based on the imagery, I mean, that the bow is pretty symbolic.
Yeah, like, but it's like the bow is very distinct, where it would basically indicate.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique design. And again, it's all artistic, but it's
Found
pretty
her.
Hulu was like, I can't believe it.
It doesn't seem real.
I still can't believe I overlooked it all this time.
Maybe it was meant for us to find it together.
I hope it's here. I really do.
But there's still something that doesn't feel right. I don't want to. I don't want to take something so special for myself.
But it's ours. It's our family's. It's our family's legacy. It's your family's legacy.
I guess that's true.
I think it's honoring the ancestors, myself, but that's if we can find it.
She's going to try to like examine the sarcophagus again to see if there's like some type of writing that might indicate like a location or some type of something that could basically be lead them in the direction of the bow. And if it's nothing there on the sarcophagus itself, the where the sky crystal, that whole area, she wants to try to take a closer look at that.
Okay. So as you move forward toward the sarcophagus to approach it, you hear a kind of clicking sound coming from just the other side of that mausoleum facade.
Mhm.
And creeping around the side, and I'm going to move us now back to the map.
Skedias.
Hey, thanks for the follow.
Yay.
Yes, good time to follow.
Yeah.
You all move forward. I'm going to say you're all moved forward another 12 feet. So if everyone will move forward 3 more squares. Coming around the edge and into the light, you see this creature.
Uh-oh.
And I'll give you a close-up look at it real quick in roll 20.
boy. Darn it, if I had rolled higher, maybe I would have known. Oh,
Oh,
no.
God.
Oh, God, no.
What is that? What?
I hate it. I hate it.
No.
I hate it. Oh, no.
It's
Nope.
like a... It's like a
millipede.
millipede with
Oh,
an
God.
eel's body and a musky head or something.
Ew.
Yeah, on the big map, it just looks like a mustache.
A really
Evil
hairy
mustache.
mustache.
Yeah, we can zoom in on it. It'll
Angry.
be just as horrifying.
Angry
it's
mustache.
horrible. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want it.
And this thing slinks around the corner and moves in between
Hard
the
pass.
coffin and the light right there, so you can see it, and its scales are reflecting in the light. It seems to shimmer a little bit as if it might be a little wet. The feet on it are amphibian-like, so as they walk across the floor, they're webbed and they splay out a little bit, and the teeth emerge as the jaw opens and this pointed head looks in your direction. And it is time to establish your combat order. So who's going number 1?
Real quick, thank you to Lords and
Thank
Ladies
you.
of Fate for the raid, you guys. Thank you
Yeah,
so
nice.
much.
Lots of raids. Good deal.
Shout out to them.
Woot woot. Welcome.
You can actually do shout outs. There we go. Hey, thanks for being here, everybody.
Look at that.
Just real quick, you guys that just came in, we do have a giveaway tonight. We're giving away a digital copy of the Nuovarden core rulebook. So exclamation mark trying to get in on the action and get your hands on this sweet, sweet content that our seer here, DungeonMisterTy, created.
Come on home. And if you jump onto our website at adventureslang.com and sign up on our mailing list to follow us, we will give you free digital assets for your DTT just for the confirmed follow for updates. So think about
Nice.
that if you would. If we can get our order. So who's first?
I would definitely want to go first because this
You got
thing
it.
is so it's not the business. So if I can try to do some damage to this thing to scare it away, that'd be great.
Okay. Who's second?
I'll go second.
All right. Swold. Who's third?
Tosh, you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'll go.
All right.
All right.
I'll pull up the rear.
Okay. Let me find out where our friends are going. Okay. Okay, Ela. So you see this thing slinking before your face, and what is your plan for your first?
I want to do as much damage as possible, so I'm going to try to use my training to focus, to really get aim, I'm trying to aim at this thing's head. So because I'm basically taking some time to make sure that I'm like aiming directly where I need it to hit.
So you, okay. You have technology, so you are trying to enhance.
Enhance, yes.
Now keep in, oh yeah, okay, you got it. So So roll to enhance, and if you succeed, then your difficulty scale is decreased for this round and the next round on any attacks with that weapon. Now, the thing is how many dice you're going to do, and don't forget you have 3 dice now, so you can use 1 and 1, 2 and 1, however you want to do it.
Okay, I'm going to use 1 to enhance. That's a 4.
You got it. Okay, so your bow, you just, and you feel the bow like gain lighter in your hand, and the draw becomes easier, and it becomes super easy to hold steady.
Okay.
That would have worked for enhanced body as well if you wanted to calm yourself instead, but you got that either way.
Okay.
And then you're going to fire, right?
Yes.
Okay, and are you doing 1 or 2 dice on that?
I'm going to do 2.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so I got a 3 and a 1, but I'm definitely going to bump that to a 4.
You don't have to because the 3. You don't have
Does it
to
work?
because the 3
Oh,
is.
it's 3. Yay!
Yes,
it
you're already
succeeded.
enhanced. So,
Okay, cool.
schwack, you hit with the shot. How much damage do you do? That is a D4 damage.
Okay. I got a 4.
Nice. Your arrow sings true and sinks to the fletching, and the creature clicks and clatters in its unique way as you hit it and damage it. And awesome. Okay, are you going to move or are you good?
I'm okay, let me see. Because I have 32. I want to try to get a good vantage point for this thing for my next hit. So I probably, because I'm trying to kind of flank it with my cousin, so I think I'm going to probably angle myself and get a little bit closer if possible.
The 32 is up to 8 squares.
Oh, that's even more. I moved not as
That's
much.
5. Is that good? Or you want more?
Yeah, like I'm trying to, because I know that I'm trying to get, I would be able to see this thing though over the sarcophagus, correct?
You can catch parts of its movement. They're not super tall, but they're about 12 feet long. But you can see, you can see the head.
Yeah, that's all I need. That's all I need. Because I'm trying to just aim at this head to try to take this thing out.
Okay. All right, you good there?
I'm good.
Okay. Then that takes us to Ode and Gudla.
I would like to use my mental powers to stun this beast.
Okay, you want to try and blast it and stun it. So that is a status attack. And if you do a status attack, I do get a challenge roll. But first, you can do 1 or 2 dice.
2 dice, please.
You got it. Okay.
And that, I got a 3 and a 2. And I'll bump it up to 4 with my primacy.
Okay. Let me see how I do. I got a 1. I got a rock. Okay, so as you do that, the creature pulls back, like you see it recoil against the attack, and it is momentarily stunned. And if we check our rules on the stun status effect, we know, just to make sure that we're all understanding what happens to it for being stunned. Come on now. Because I believe, there we go. Stunned is, God grief, I can't find it.
Is that like bereft?
No, it's debilitated.
I found it. Succumbing to a sleep manifestation, a knockout blow, or any other form of unconsciousness renders a creature vulnerable. Debilitated creatures cannot move, cannot take any actions, and automatically fail all challenge rolls. In addition, the DS is decreased for actions taken against a debilitated creature. A debilitated creature that suffers a new injury immediately recovers from the status effect.
There you go. Yep, that's what I was double checking. Thank you very much. So this creature is temporarily like ineffective. If you injure it, it will snap out of it. Otherwise, it is vulnerable to anything else you want to do for the moment. And you have another die left if you want to take an action, or you can hold on to it.
Oh gosh. I will hold on to it.
Okay. Do you want to move?
Sure. I'll move over here.
Okay. Goodla swings her scythe through the air and moves forward. Right up on it. And she's not completely aware of what's happening to it, so she's going to attack it. I'm going to go with one die. That is a 2, and her weapon allows her to bump that to a 3 for success as she hits it.
Nice.
With one strike. That is 3 damage. The creature snaps out of it, but having hit it once, she swings the scythe back around and to try to hit it again. That's a 4, which is a hit. For another 3 damage, and you hear the electrical snap as the arc does that increased damage from it. And then she gears up and swings at it again with a 4-2, which is a hit. For 5 more. And a follow-up, which is a hit for 3 more. And she whack, whack. And a snap in the lightning, and she actually just minces it to death.
That thing is sweet.
Yeah. And you stand there looking around and holding your breath, and that takes us to Tosh.
We're just gonna gravity crush this thing.
So Gudla just chopped it to bits.
Oh. What is
You can still crush it if you want, but it's already dead.
Oh, if it's dead, then Tosh just claps his hands. Yay, we did it. I'm proud of everybody.
All right. That's when.
Yeah, I knew. I was like, he didn't say we were out of
Yeah.
combat, so I was like,
Yeah,
there is no
it's
way.
Look out!
2 more of them come slithering out of the darkness, and Ela, one runs up on you.
Yeah, I'm right there.
And I'm going to bump it
No.
right here between Ela and Ode. Ode, the first thing that happens, though, actually first to you, is that the body starts to slither around and wrap around you.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, that is, I rolled a 3. I'm going to use primacy for this creature and bump it to a 4. And it is trying to wrestle attack you, so you do get a challenge roll to avoid it.
Can I use my swole strength?
You know what? If you want to exchange your swole strength to use the body focus for that, if you need it, I'll let you use that in exchange for being able to do any damage with that attack, and it will go away. But do you want to roll first and see what you get?
Yeah. Let's.
So it's 1 die.
1 die.
1 die because it's challenge roll. And all you're looking for is a 4.
I got a 3. So
All right,
can I
do you wanna
bump it
use
to
your
4 with a primacy? Or no?
Only if you have body discipline. Or I'll let you exchange your swole condition and that extra damage on an attack in place of it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right. So you bump it, and as the coil starts to wrap around you, you slip out of it and avoid that.
Ah!
And Gudla, meanwhile, it snaps at you with its jaws. And that is a 3-1. So I will bump again, that roll.
Ash, you got a primacy recharge from the chat, thanks to Cardman.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
Who else is down? Because there's a second one. Anyone else need a recharge? Ela?
I mean, that would be useful. Yes.
Yeah, take it. Take it. Recharge from Mr. Mephisto. Thank you.
Now,
Nice
is that a
timing.
full recharge or just one? Is that
One.
That's
pharmacy?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ela, you
you.
take 3 points of damage, but you have armor factor of 1, correct?
Yeah. So, it's
So
just
your
two.
armor crumbles, but the bite only does 2 injury.
Okay.
And then the creature, let's see, this one that just rolled in here is I'm going to sacrifice one of its actions to move another distance and come in as well on the 2 of you. And this time, the first one's going to try and wrestle Ela. That's a 3 bump to a 4. Ela, you can give me a challenge roll, which is a single die, and body primacy does count.
Yes. Okay. I got a 3 on one of the dice, so I'm gonna go ahead and bump that.
Did you roll 2 or 1? Because it's only a 1 die roll.
Oh, let me see. That was I rolled 2 by accident. I thought it was a 2.
Challenge rolls are 1 die. Whenever
Yeah.
you're confronted with a status attack, a challenge roll is always 1 die.
Okay. Copy that. Yeah. So I still got the 1, 3. I'm gonna bump that to a 4.
All right, and you shove away those scales as the coil tries to wrap around you. But now it's Ode that faces the bite.
And real quick, Ela, you got another recharge from the chat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Bleak. You guys
Oh,
are
that is
awesome.
a hit, a single die hit, and you get bit for 2 points because, I'm sorry, Ela, you should have suffered an extra 1 as well because I forgot about their damage factor.
Oh, so I still have. Okay. So I
You
still
took
have
2
one. Okay.
3 injuries total.
Me?
Your armor deflected 1, and then you took 3 because I forgot that they have an extra damage bonus on their bite.
Okay. Copy that.
Ouch.
And Ode, you take 2. You don't have an armor factor, right? So that bite gives you 2 injuries. And that takes us to First Foundation.
First Foundation is going to manifest a shield over Ode, in between Ode and this creature.
Like a wall, maybe?
Yeah, a wall of some kind. Yep.
Okay. How big? Well, let's see. Let's see what your roll is first, and then you can
Okay.
do up to your maximum size. And you've got a range of 12 to...
Yeah. I'm going to roll 2 action dice on this one.
Okay.
4 and a 3.
There you go.
If I bump that second 4 up, would that be
can
really,
make it-
really good?
You had made 24-foot high and wide wall if you wanted it.
Do I feel like that's needed in this? If evaluating the situation, do I feel like that's necessary?
I mean, that's a substantial wall that nobody, it's
Yeah.
24 feet of blocking.
All right, I'm just gonna go normal. I'll just go normal on that one.
12.
Yep.
So you want
And
the full
then
12?
The full 12, and then this one
And
will
that's in-
move forward.
That's in front of Ode, right?
Yep, in between Ode and this creature right here,
Oh, okay, right there.
and then going to move up behind Ode and hand Ode a. Well, how do these healing tinctures work?
So you have a healing tincture, then Ode can drink it. For each dose heals 1d4 injuries.
I'm gonna be like, "Hey, swole Ode, take
I'm,
this."
I'm not swole anymore.
I know, but I like the name.
They squished it out of me like toothpaste.
You'll always be swole to me, and he'll hand you the tincture. Drink this;
Aw.
it'll make you feel better.
Thanks. I already have one, so now I have 2.
So that's a free action, actually.
Okay. I have one more action die, don't I?
Yes, you do.
If I hold on to it, I can use it to aid or assist.
To assist. Yes,
Yep.
you can.
I'm going to
Yep,
hold
you wanna
on
do
to
that?
it. Yep, I'm going to hold on
Okay.
to it.
All right. So as you have found this hidden location behind the waterfall and crept into what appears to be the lost tomb of Kaikal Nalnik, Ela's great grandmother and huntress of infamy, and moving toward the location where the bow might exist of also infamy in the Nalnik family, especially. These creatures come out of the darkness and attack. And as you're engaged in this combat, this is where we'll end our session for tonight and pick up next week and see what happens to our intrepid adventurers. Thank you, chat, for all of the donations and raiders for the raids.
Yeah.
Don't forget to jump in to the giveaway for a chance to win a digital copy of the full rulebook when this is all put together next year from my company, Adventure Slang Productions. This is a game that came out of my dream, literally. I dreamt about it, and that's where that was the origination for it. So if you like what you see, hop in on that and see if you can win it. Also follow at adventureslang.com. If you sign up on our mailing list and confirm and follow updates on what we've got going on, you are automatically going to receive digital assets for virtual tabletop related to Nuovarden in the form of 8 culture tokens representing each of the base character options and 15 in-game images representing equipment and items for the virtual tabletop, just as a thank you for following for news. Dave, what else am I overlooking?
No, that's great. We've got the giveaway. We've got a little bit of time to get back in on that, !drawing to get in on it. And I guess just sort of we can pull the lucky winner's name after we go around and sort of reintroduce everybody and make sure we give some shout outs to what we're up to.
Beautiful. I'm going to go backwards, starting with Utahime. If you would take us, wrap us up.
Yep. Hello, everyone. I'm Utahime, and I play Ela Nelnik in our campaign here. It's always a pleasure. I'm so glad to be back with this amazing group. You can find me at UTAHIME, cosplay pretty much everywhere, including I think Hive is back. So you can find me there and TikTok as well. And you can find me at Brianna DeCosta on Twitter. I'm community manager over at the Initiative Order. So you can definitely be sure to check out that amazing community as well. And hopefully you're following this one. And also too, I'm a cosplayer and TTRPG enthusiast. So I'm up to lots of different shenanigans. I just literally came back from 2 various events, Cosplay Expo and also Holiday Matsuri. Where I was actually a host. So I do hosting things. So if you want to see what I'm up to, definitely follow my social media. Otherwise, you can catch me next week here. Same time.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Ashley.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter. And you can find me on Tuesdays on this channel for Heroes of Greyhawk, where I play another mischievous character. That's what I'm good at.
Kind of your thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I have going on right now.
All right. Well, that's enough heading into the holidays, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar, who has had nothing going on.
Absolutely not. Top everybody to you, lads, lasses, both and neither. My name is Lamar the Con Guy. That's Lemer the Con Guy. This is my 10th day in a row playing a tabletop RPG stream. And while I've had so much fun in each and every one, I am tired as sin. You can find me on all social media as Lamar the Con Guy. I am preparing to go to Anime Los Angeles in Long Beach, California, as I am doing a whole bunch of things. I'm doing 9 events because I'm a foolish man, and that's actually 9 less than I normally do for this particular convention. I'm currently putting together a list of conventions I want to go to next year. If you have a con that you'd like to see me at, please let me know. Definitely let the convention runners know, because if they can get me in for free, it'd be much easier in my pocket. Beyond that, I think I have this game next week on Wednesday, and on Tuesday, back over Creators of Simple playing Spelljammer, I think next week. I might be wrong. But anyway, I'm going to bed now.
Thank you so much. And I am Dungeon Mr. Ty. You can find me as at DungeonMisterTy on the internet, but the best place to find out anything that's going on with anything that I'm doing that might even be remotely interesting is at adventureslang.com. It's the website for the company that is producing this game. We have a podcast. We have our schedule on there. We have VODs of past actual plays. And we will be starting our convention rotation in February at DungeonCon in Santa Clara. So if anyone's able to make it up there, we'd love to see you. You can just come sign up to play with us live at our table. And check out some other stuff we've got going on. I just had a bunch of minis printed representing some of the early iterations of the figures, and really excited about that. We've got big ones and little ones coming in, so you can come play with those and talk to us. And otherwise, find us over at the website or next week here on Wednesday. And Dave, I'll throw it back to you.
Thank you so much, Ty. I think one suggestion is that we're going to have to get a mini of Swole Ode. I think we need a Swole Ode mini. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Swole Geode.
That was great. Everybody knows me. I'm Dave, Dungeon Dave, DM Dave. I play games, produce games, run games over here on Guild Superior with my friends, these beautiful people and others, and just super thrilled to have these opportunities to connect with you all and create stories together. It's a wonderful experience for me, and I cherish it. We're going to go ahead and do a giveaway here in a second. I want to make sure everybody knows that we have some continued programming next week and the following week, where we've got the Tuesday night Greyhawk game. We've got the Wednesday night Nuovarden game. We hope that you will come by and hang out with us. We also want to give a shout out to our very own Bleak Season, who is going to be running a game for charity tomorrow night over at Live from the Apocalypse. So make sure you go check that out. That's going to be awesome, and it's for a great cause. We are going to also quickly just make sure that everybody sticks around, because we're going to raid into our buddy Phoenixy Wacky. So hang tight for that. Let's do a giveaway. Everybody, if you want to get in, there's one or two more seconds to get in. !drawing. I think we're ready to do it. I think everybody's had their opportunity. Let's give something away here.
Roll it.
3, 2, and 1. We're rolling. Heroes and Hooligans. Hoolie.
Hey, welcome. All right.
You're going to be running Nuovarden. I can see it. I can see it in my mind. I can't wait. Congratulations, Hoolie. Hoolie is another friend of ours that we play games with on the regular, and played a brilliant role in our Blade Runner game, which just wrapped up, but it's available VOD if you want to check it out on our YouTube page. Let's see. Join us in Discord. We're going to raid. Give our friends over at Phoenixy Wacky some serious love. That good old Guild Superior raid love. And we'll see you next time, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out.